Hello Internet! In this video we're covering the Guardian Druid, rotations for both hero talent trees, including how the tier set impacts each build. And at the end we'll take a look at the stat priorities and a few key essentials to get you started for Season 2. So whether you're picking up the Guardian Druid for the first time or looking to optimize your play, I got you covered. My name is Brink and let's dive straight in. Let's get the new stuff out of the way first, our tier sets in Season 2. The 2-piece is Thrash has a 20% chance to make your next Mangle deal 100% increased damage. And the 4-piece gives Thrash 3 Thorns. Now you tell me, how do only 3 Thorns do damage to 5 enemies? Does every enemy get hit by 3 Thorns? Anyway, that's what the tooltip says. So basically, more AoE nature damage from Thrash. But here's where I think this set gets interesting, because I don't think these bonuses are just random. Blizzard initially solved Guardian's threat problems by putting a huge amount of damage into Thrash. My guess is that in this patch, they're trying to redistribute some of that power back across the kit, with Mangle becoming a much more meaningful source of damage and rage generation, because look at what this set is encouraging. And there is an important interaction with our Apex talents, Wild Guardian. At rank 3, Awakening a Spirit resets Thrash and Mangle, and after casting Incarn, Wild Guardian gives you a charge that guarantees your next Maul or Ravage to awaken a spirit. So during Incarnation you can essentially do this. And this is where your 4 set comes in. Every Thrash extends Incarnation by half a second, up to 5 seconds. So the Apex talent is giving you additional opportunities to cast Thrash during your Incarn window, while the tier set is rewarding you for those additional Thrash casts by extending Incarnation. That's the synergy. So in a nutshell, you're not just getting more damage from Thrash, you're using the Wild Guardian reset loop to get more Thrashes. And those Thrashes can extend your Incarnation up to another 5 seconds. Some would say it's a bit too Thrash centric, but if you ask me, I think this is a fun gameplay loop, and it fits the Guardian playstyle very well. Understanding the rotation. Instead of me explaining a fixed order of buttons to press, I feel that it's way more useful to understand the meaning of the rotation and what it is you're trying to accomplish. Let's start with explaining the basic first. Your mastery is important, so let's start here. It increases your maximum health and healing received, and also your attack power. You have one resource, Rage, and just one Rage bar to keep an eye on. You have abilities that generate Rage and abilities that cost Rage. You generate with Mangle and Thrash, and spend it on defensive abilities like Iron Fur and Frenzied Regeneration. Use these to keep you alive. Dots, or bleeds for that matter. You have 3 damage over time dots to track. A dot from Moonfire just does damage, and a bleed from Thrash just does damage, and Dreadful Wounds from Ravage also does damage, and it lowers incoming damage. So keep these dots up at all times. And when there's nothing else to do, you have a filler, Swipe, that doesn't cost nor generates Rage. So these are your core abilities for your rotation. The main rule or mindset to have is the following. Avoid wasting Rage and make sure you spend Rage intentional. Your priority being Raise or Maul, do damage and get your Absorb Shield up from Dreadful Wounds by pressing Ravage. Be sure to track it, it's too good to pass on. And then make sure you have at least 1 stack of Iron Fur up. The armor of Iron Fur does stack and overlap, so it's not wrong to have more stacks, but there's no need to spam it, or to try to keep up 5 stacks like you did in the past. Keep abilities on cooldown, cast Mangle and Thrash on cooldown. Whenever unavailable, cast fillers. Your filler priority being Maul, Moonfire, Swipe. Utilize procs and cooldowns. Incarnation, Guardian of Ursoc, is cast on cooldown, roughly every 120 seconds, just before picking up a big pack. The same goes for Wild Guardian. Lunar Beam increases your mastery, so you get more health and more healing. Also important procs to use is your Ravage, for that Absorb Shield. So, as an opener, from a distance, cast Moonfire as your pull ability. Charge in with Wild Charge, and start your opener or rotation with Mangle. It has 2 charges, so get that rolling. Thrash for more Rage and adding your bleed. Then cast Ravage for your last dot. Congratulations, you applied all your 3 important dots. That's your pull right there. Now you start playing your minigame. Start rotating your abilities. Mangle, Thrash, Ravage. Or if it doesn't proc, Maul. If everything is on a global cooldown and you feel like you have nothing to press, even not an Iron Fur, then feel free to either cast Swipe as your filler or reapply your Moonfire dot. Everything is at play now. Your dots are rolling, you're generating Rage, and your Iron Fur is up. And once you get the hang of this, you can start adding cooldowns. Your first cooldown being Incarnation. When using Incarnation, your cooldowns will get reduced by this, and so your rotation can be done faster. Start doing your damage abilities as Mangle now hits more targets, and maintain your Iron Fur, and press Frenzied Regeneration. When you get further in the fight, and the situation is needed that you need more heals, it's your perfect time to press Wild Guardian. This empowers everything you do even more. You can cast Frenzied Regens, Iron Furs, and spread your bleeds with Ravage and do more damage with Maul. Guardian cooldowns. So we just went over your important cooldowns. You want to spread out these big cooldowns. Don't blow them all at once in one pack. Think ahead. With Incarnation and Wild Guardian, you got a lot of survivability. We also spoke about Lunar Beam. Weave that in when you feel like it's needed. As you can see, these cooldowns are being used defensively as well as offensively. They're definitely tools to be used defensively, as they will keep you strong and alive. There are a few more defensive cooldowns that you can use to keep yourself alive. The first being Survival Instinct. 2 charges on a 2.5 minute cooldown, lowering damage intake by 60%. This is huge, so don't sit on this too long. Use it. You don't have 2 charges for nothing. And then you have Barkskin, reducing damage you take by 30%, increasing healing by 20% on a 34-second cooldown, lasting for 14 seconds. Use these defensive tools wisely but often, and start timing them better and better as you learn their encounters. I already covered the meaning of your abilities in the previous chapter, so let's start with the opener. Before you start the pull, make sure you have Mark of the Wild up, on yourself and the party. So as an opener, charge in and pop your Barkskin, cast Lunar Beam, and if you want to optimize, this is the best moment to pop your combat potion. Open with Fresh to get aggro on all enemies around you. Maintain Moonfire at least on your primary target. Cast Mangle on cooldown. Cast Fresh on cooldown. Spend Rage either on Maul or Iron Fur. Cast Frenzied Regeneration if your health dips low, and cast Moonfire with Galactic Guardian procs. And use your cooldowns, Barkskin, Incarnation as frequently as possible. Cast Swipe if you have nothing else to press. And that's your pull right there. Now for Season 2, with your tier set, you want to make sure to Mangle after it procs a Fresh. Cast Moonfire to keep up your dots, and with Galactic Guardian procs, use it. It will make it easier to have your Moonfire dots on everything. Use Swipe as a filler and just start rotating your abilities. Fresh on cooldown to get that Mangle damage increase. Mangle on cooldown and keep your dots up. All that damage will add up. Trust me, your Moonfire is nothing to sniff at. Again, if everything is on global cooldown and you feel like you have nothing else to press, there is an Iron Fur on a half a second recharge time and costs 40 rage. If you're out of rage, as a last resort, then feel free to cast Swipe as your filler. But it's probably more sensible to check if you need to reapply your Moonfire dots. And that's it, everything is at play. Your dots are rolling, you're generating rage, your Iron Fur is up. Once you get the hang of this, you can start adding cooldowns. Your first cooldown being Incarnation. When you go berserk for 15 seconds, you will reduce the cooldowns of your Mangle, Fresh and Growl, and Frenzied Regen by 100%. And so your rotation can be done a lot faster. Start doing your damage abilities as Mangle now hits more targets, and maintain your Iron Fur. And press your Frenzied Regeneration when your health drops. When you get further in the fight, and the situation is needed, that you need more heals, that's your perfect time to press Wild Guardian. It empowers everything you do, and even more. You cast your Frenzy Regen, Iron Furs, and spread your dots and do more damage with Maul. And there you have it, the Guardian Season 2 guide. If you want a deeper dive into talents or gameplay tips, be sure to check out some of my prior guides on this channel. And if you do find this video helpful, why not help me out by hitting a like, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Do let me know in the comments below, what are you playing in Season 2? And what guides would you like to see from me next? Thanks for watching, Brink's out.